Hello,
Hello.
gamers.
Hello.
You know, one thing I'll never
Uh-huh.
do until the day I die is figure out who is saying hello to the stream. I'll never do it. I'll never do it.
We never talk about it
We
ahead of
never
time.
talk about it ahead of time. We just go.
We just go. We just roll off of vibes, and sometimes we say hello in unison, and that's a fun little trick.
No
That's
thoughts,
a fun
only
little
gamer.
I love to say hello in unison like the twins from a horror movie.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Cado and I are like twins from a horror movie. I'm always saying this about us. That's the Ren and Cado promise.
Yes. Welcome gamers. Welcome to the second game in our Waypoint 101 for March. I keep saying, look, Waypoint 101s used to be set by months. This one will probably be set by a month just because the games are short. We have some 101s in the hopper that I don't think we're gonna be done with in a month.
Oh, can you think which one that? Cado, can you let me know which one that might be? Hey,
Ah!
Cado, can you give me an idea of which game you may be talking about? Because I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure which game you're talking about, Cado. Could you, like, remind me real
some
quick?
some motherfucker just picked a cool sounding game that everyone talks about a lot without looking at the how long to beat.
So you're saying that that person... wait, sorry. This is a new piece of information to me.
What?
That person
Yeah, that
did...
person what?
Did what? They didn't check first?
I didn't think. And look, Waypoint 101's about being on our bullshit. What's more on Waypoint's bullshit than going overtime?
No, 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 I'm gonna push back against this. No, you know what? I'm gonna do a hard read real quick, and Kato, I just want to apologize in advance for what I'm about to say to you, because it may be a bit cutting. Is that Waypoint's bullshit? Yes. Is that also the Ricardo Contreras promised Mr. I streamed 23 hours of Destiny over the weekend? Is that also the Ricardo Contreras promise? I'm going to fucking throw myself into the breach of this ship.
Hyper focus is a hell of a drug.
It truly is. It truly is.
Uh, yeah, I didn't. To be fair, to clear the air and make sure everyone doesn't think I'd stream 23 hours because of any sort of work thing. I rated 23 hours
Yeah.
because I wanted to and put a stream on because that's what we do. I was not talking to chat.
And let me be real clear.
To be
The
clear,
other
also,
ones of
it
us
wasn't.
did not know. At least I, at the very least, did not know this was happening.
Nobody knew how long it was going on for. Like I said, I'm gonna
Incredible.
raid on Saturday because it's the day one raid. I wasn't straight. It wasn't straight. It wasn't straight.
No one at
But it
Waypoint
wasn't
is. That's not
straight.
true.
It wasn't 23 hours straight. It was 10 hours on one day and 13 on the other. 13 hours the first day because we started at 1 and then we went 13 hours, which was a mistake. And then 10 hours on the second day because we really wanted to finish that goddamn raid.
I have a question. Is it like, is this one harder than the others, or is this just how day one rating always is?
This is basically how day one is usually because day one they do this thing called contest mode for the first 24 hours, which is usually within the time that it takes for the first team to beat it. Usually well under that, but for that time they basically cap your level so that you can't out level it and make certain combat encounters trivial. Everyone's on a level playing field, which is good because for me, I can't get to like max level in a week the way that other people who raid do. But I can get to the cap in a week, and that's easy. So it makes combat harder because everything hits harder and you don't do as much damage. So everything is a little more dangerous. You got to really be on your game and really have a like well thought out build. And I really enjoy that part of Destiny. Unfortunately, it also means like, and then you add the layer on top of raiding being a very highly coordinated thing, and then it makes it very, very difficult. The second that the contest mode is off, which usually is 24 hours, so it would have been Sunday, but they extended it this time because on Saturday there was a bunch of connection errors. So people who are looking to finish within the 24-hour window, which gives you a special emblem that you can only get during those 24 hours, couldn't finish the raid because of networking issues on Bungie's end.
Right.
So they extended it a day, which means yesterday, Sunday, it was still contest mode, and part of the issue with contest mode is if you don't have your like DPS, there's a DPS check in the second encounter of this raid. You just can't pass, and it's also difficult to even get through all the DPS when you die to ads very easily. So now, later tonight, I will be going back into that raid now that contest mode is off, and I feel like the combat is going to be pretty trivial because we were getting the boss within like an inch of his health and just like never be able to get that last inch. But then contest mode will be off, and we'll be able to do a shit ton of extra damage. So it'll be great.
So in terms of like raid difficulty, this is like mid. This is like mid in terms of Destiny raid difficulty, or is it like above average?
As far as I've seen, it's like a little bit above average, but then I've heard that the third and fourth encounter maybe aren't quite as difficult, and I think a lot of the difficulty is coming from contest mode this time. There's a lot of symbols that you have to learn the names of, which can vary depending on the person, you know? Yeah, exactly. Please be nice to Yaz. Cado gonna take off his weighted training armor. The second that the contest mode is off, we're gonna destroy that boss, and then we'll move on to the other, and maybe I'll stream that too, just for shit, just so that the Waypoint audience can see a finished raid that isn't me struggling for, close to 15 hours on one encounter.
Alrighty. Destiny aside.
Anyways,
no,
yeah.
I was genuinely curious. Thank you for that quick bit of Destiny chat before we enter Heaven Will Be Mine, which is, as Kados introduced earlier, our second game for this month's quote-unquote Waypoint 101. Heaven Will Be Mine was made by the same developers, War Scroll Games. It is the like spiritual successor / follow-up to We Know the Devil. It, like We Know the Devil, follows 3 primary characters, and the like game revolves around pairing them up in different situations, and while also the difference being balancing the Cado you switched over to your desktop.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
Got it.
I'm just typing.
You know.
Yeah. It's fine. There's nothing hidden here.
Okay, got it. I just want to make sure you like knew. While also balancing the like politics of those decisions, which is like the key difference between We Know the Devil and Heaven Will Be Mine, is that not only are you like determining fates of characters, but you are also like looking at different like political lenses through which like power and like personhood like operates, which is really, really cool. It is doing like peak mech fiction shit, which is very, very exciting. It is a game that I've played a little bit of, but I have not actually beaten before. So I am very excited to play it through with Cado for as long as we do. And then actually complete, like, you know, like a full playthrough at some point, which is very exciting. We may do that on stream, we may not. Who's to say? No one's quite sure.
We'll see how far we get and what the... Did you look up the time to beat on this one?
Yeah. It's like 6.5 hours.
Okay. We might be able to finish that in 2 streams. Let's see. I opened this up and saw that there was a resume button. I played this once for like a little bit. A hot second. And the way that things work in this this job of ours is something bigger that everyone else was going to be talking about on the podcast came up, and I played that instead and then never came back, because coming back to things is hard when your brain works the way that mine does. So let's start. It's basically like starting new. I don't remember basically anything, although I did seem to have picked Pluto.
Yes.
Looks like we've got 3 people to pick from.
Yes. Do we want to do it so that for a first playthrough, one person takes just like the main character and then the other person takes like literally everyone else? You want to do that?
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay, let's see. Saturn, Celestial Mechanics Reserve Test Pilot. Celestial Mechanics wants to advance humanity to its next stage, and Saturn wants to flirt, but there's no reason we can't do both. Combat style, button mashing. Bedroom style, button mashing. Grim.
Grim.
Faction, Cradle's Grace's self-ship Croon Macula. Cradle's Grace's ultimate weapon pilot. Even if Earth has given up on a new life for humanity in space, Cradle's Grace's hasn't, and Pluto will make that dream come true. Likes succulents, good girls, crushing, both kinds, and everyone. Dislikes, she is trying very hard not to have any. And finally,
I can see why I picked Pluto. That's a vibe for me.
Lunaterra, Faction Memorial Foundation, Self-Ship Mare Crisium. Memorial Foundation's ace pilot, fighting for the pilots to join the rest of humanity back on Earth, before it's too late. Good at sniping, espionage, double-crossing, and ghosting. Bad at loving herself and everything else. Wow, we love women with depression.
Also a mood. What do you feel like for this this first one? What do you think? Is there a canonical entry point that usually you've seen people talk about more, or is there like...
Heaven Will Be Mine is the game that I have the least experience with. Like, that is the thing, is that I wanted to... One of the reasons I wanted to do this Waypoint 101 is, like, dive in to this game that I've been meaning to get to, and have, like, loved the first game in, like, the spiritual duology.
Something about Saturn gives me very protagonist vibes.
Saturn gives very protagonist vibes. Saturn also kind of gives... I can't tell if Saturn or Pluto gives Renata vibes. I can't tell which. I feel like there's a Venn diagram of which I am directly in the middle between these two women. I'm not quite sure.
Secret of Kellen chat says Saturn, Luna, Pluto I think is recommended, but it doesn't super matter. So we can just go off vibes.
All right. Do you want to do Saturn?
Yeah, let's do Saturn. Do you want to read Saturn's lines and the narrator, and then I can do the other people?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get into it.
This whips.
Good noises.
I know, right? The sound design in this game seems fucking phenomenal. Welcome, Provisional Test Pilot Saturn. Your clearance is Level 1, Testing and Maintenance. Warning. Potential damage to cockpit hardware detected. Warning. Modifying or tampering with cockpit hardware and/or firmware is strictly prohibited.
Mercury. Saturn, what are you doing?
Notice. Bypass override accepted. Notice. Launch attempt block. No handshake with base. Oh, hey Mercury. Not much. Warning. Launch attempt blocked. Base handshake spoof detected.
Don't worry, I'm not trying to illegally launch this ship.
Just hacking the OS root of this ship south. You? Notice. Base handshake 224 percentage A. End parentheses, open parentheses, exclamation point, $1, $2, beginning parentheses, exclamation point, $, at, FF, exclamation point, begin parentheses.
It almost looked like Lee at the end there.
Yeah, it
Like
looks
that
a bit
kinda
like
looks like
it looks
off.
a bit like Lee. I don't trust how much it looks like Lee. Notice, base handshake accepted.
Trying to stop some brat from hijacking the prototype, apparently.
Notice, emergency launch override initiated. Prepare for launch in T-minus 120 seconds. Calm down, Mercury. I'm just borrowing it.
I am not debating. I'm trying to save your life. The commander will be furious, and he won't just accept you stealing the Cornerstone project from the designated pilot.
It's not a big deal. I'll have it back before you know it.
This is privileged information, but the designated pilot has to launch right this second to get that machine back to Earth before they get here. This is the worst possible time. It couldn't be worse if you planned it. Everyone in the system suddenly knows this base's location, and they're heading here now.
Notice, user launch override blocked. Denied by base. Oh, wow. Weird. How did that happen? Notice, user launch override blocked. Denied by base. Notice, user launch override blocked. Denied by base.
You planned it, didn't you?
You forgot an apostrophe. Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 30 seconds. No one can prove anything, especially not the designated pilot, unconscious in locker 27. Whoops. Looks like they're trying to kick me out, huh?
Saturn, I know you're mad, but you can't do this when they catch you. It's going to be so bad. Can you please just act like you're just pranking them? There's still time. I will beg them. Run-on sentence.
Oh, such a worrywart. You've got hours to evacuate to the capital ship. They'll never engage you this far from base, and I'll be distracting them. I have it all figured out.
Except for how you're going to do anything at all to accomplish that with everyone trying to kill you.
Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 20 seconds.
Saturn.
Try to have a little faith. Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 15 seconds.
Saturn!
Calm down. Jeez, it doesn't take a genius to drive one of these things to the moon. Who cares which one of us doesn't? Or do you think I can't? Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 10 seconds.
That's not the issue. The commander cares, and you know better than anyone what he's like.
Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 9 seconds. Iapetus will just have to get used to it, lol. Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 8 seconds.
Saturn, what are you trying to prove?
Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 7 seconds. Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 6 seconds. So much, Mercury. Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 5 seconds. But give me a little credit. Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 4 seconds. Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 3 seconds. I have much higher ambitions than just being a bitch. Error. IFF sequence missing. Notice, base override cancelled. I almost got worried for a sec. Welcome, assigned pilot. Permissions granted.
Saturn, I'm going to die, and it will be your fault.
Aw, come on. I'll get this to the moon safe and sound. And let the Severance project be complete. I'll be very good, maybe, and do everything I'm supposed to, maybe. I know I'm the second choice, but they'd rather have that than nothing, right? Very generous of me, isn't it?
They will not accept that.
They will sort of have to, though, won't they? If Command didn't want me to steal one, they shouldn't have benched me indefinitely. Warning. Emergency launch initiated. Let me know when he starts admitting it. Warning. Hostile launch. Catapult locks on. High risk of damage to your ship self. Jeez, now they're just being needy. Mercury, isn't it just the worst when someone who doesn't care anymore starts clinging just because you found someone new? Notice. Prepping weapon systems. Notice. Electrotoxin levels surging. Notice. Weapons operational. So gross. Ugh. Warning. Emergency launch initiated. I can't believe I really did it. I really, really did it. Everyone who said if I was good, I'd get my chance again sure was a liar. I got away, and I've got a ship, and she's all mine. You're beautiful. I want to know everything about you. I missed this so much. Much better than the test machines when I was in the academy. She is beautiful, She's a wicked machine with a lot of secrets, and just as giddy as her pilot to be free. She's extremely responsive, eager to do everything Saturn wants. You're even worth reading the manual for. What's in you? You're not hiding anything from me, are you? But Saturn already knows everything in the manual, and more. It's a very cagey document that doesn't do the ship justice and is certainly hiding something. Sorry, there we go. Sorry, I was adjusting my camera. There's plenty of information on how to use her electromagnetic poisons and how to cheat distance and gravity, and all of that is fun, but none of that tells her the first thing about how to be a ship. Ugh, this is useless. How can this help diagnose anything when they don't know the first thing about being a ship? So wrong, way too dry. It's not what it's like at all. It's a body that's also a soul. It means exactly what it is. That's why it's small, curved and wicked edges in some places, but curved in soft ways elsewhere. Sharp claws and deadly tail, but cute enough to hug. So perfectly suited for Saturn, one has to understand exactly why they wouldn't give it to her. Really perfect. It's better than a human body. That's reason enough to disobey everyone and run off with it, isn't it? Oh, speaking of. Aw, more threatening emails from Iapetus, missing me already. I gave him a perfectly good deal. For someone who's always going on about being mutually beneficial arrangements, he's really having trouble seeing the big picture. The time it takes him to realize that, I'm sure I can find something more fun to do in this system. Time to test you out and see if it's really true. Can you give me everything I want, down to the last drop? It's January 1st, 1980, and the long and cold war where humanity united against its nemesis, an existential threat from beyond the stars, has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we've been fighting a war against an existential threat that we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and is powerless against the technology of Earth. That is a pretty stupid war to fight, isn't it? When there's enough of a mess down here to worry about. Humanity is already undisputed authority of reality, and we have physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe, before Earth takes us back in pieces. Let's go home with grace. On the first anniversary of the decommissioning of the International Space Program, we, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety, in agreement with our home planet's unanimous decision, declare, there is no future for humanity in space. Let's come home. From the Return Resolution, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. It's January 1st, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared independence from Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over, and it feels so light without their gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers, and schools hold out against the full authority of Earth? Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity. To power the ship selves we made to fight the Cold War, we made tidal resonators to bring the gravity necessary for humans and culture to survive in space. And that gravity is ours now, enough to make a new world free from the weight of Earth. If the Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come and take it from us. We're thankful for our cradle's graces, but we are not coming back. From the Independence Declaration of Cradle's Graces. It's January 25th, 1981. Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces have been having a fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking the stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have good reason to believe that the existential threat posed by a divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretically malevolent entity outside the native sphere. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat. And when they do, they will send real weapons and end this war fought with plastic toys. Their justification? They are technically less than 100% human, just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe that they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring our final piece, the prototype ship shelf string of pearls we made in the atmosphere of Cronus, which will never be Saturn, the lunar gravity well where Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces are already headed. Whoever controls that place controls human access to space. We can be sure everything will be in place there. Earth or space, we are just short of 100% human. So let's see how much less than 100% we can get. Internal report, Celestial Mechanics. Day 1.
Oh, okay.
All right, we got a lot. So this is where we choose. All right, we got a lot here, Cado. Let's hop over.
There's a lot happening on.
All right, this is the mission select for the next mission. Let's not check that out yet.
These two, yeah.
Yeah, let's go through what
Mail.
we have notifications in.
Mail. Your apparent promotion from okay.
Do you want to take this one since you said you would take
Sure.
non-Saturn characters?
Good job, Saturn. There's no point in being angry with you, so I'll choose to be proud of you instead. I'll refrain from having you sunk, since that's counterproductive to our intentions for that unit. You were a reserve candidate after all, so you'll do fine. Try not to make it too much of a pain in the ass for me. I'll have Mercury reassigned to you since he apparently doesn't have a say in the matter. How nostalgic. The two of you had so much potential. Well, he knows how to do his job at least. Do your best to not get the string of pearls sunk. We'll absolutely wash you out of the biological interface and reassign you permanently if we get the chance. So prove you're competent enough and neither of us will have wasted our time. Iapetus, Division Lead, Celestial Mechanics. True setting, effective immediately.
Origin, Native Sphere, Mass Communication. Author, Memorial Foundation, Existential Safety. To all members of the former Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Research Division, now known as Celestial Mechanics. This message serves as a formal acknowledgement that this branch has violated our trust and broken the previous provisions of the 1981 Memorial Foundation Consensus by violating Clause 3, the development of a variable gravity engine, and Clause 7, installation of a variable gravity engine into the ship self string of pearls. Celestial Mechanics will no longer be listed as part of the Memorial Foundation. They will be formally relisted as an independent entity and considered a true existential threat by Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. We are still offering forgiveness, so please defect as soon as possible, while the appeal grace period is still in effect. Please otherwise expect tidal retaliation for existential endangerment of human culture. Halamede, Princess, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety.
Don't talk to me. Does this? Hold on. Okay.
You literally messaged me first, you nerd. Oh my god.
Harpy.
Come on, baby. I'm sorry. What can I do to make it up to you?
Give back the ship.
Come on, I'm obviously not doing that.
Please, I'm begging you. Listen to reason. You have so much left to live for.
Oh, Mercury, come on. We both know that's not true.
What do you want from me?
A list of girls who will shoot me out of orbit.
I need a shorty who will shoot me dead. God.
Anyways, don't be a crybaby. I'm fine.
Saturn, you are extremely wrong if you think that there's a chance I am at all worried about you. If you come back, all will be forgiven, but you need to bring it back.
Mercury, it's fun playing, but I don't think you've been listening at all. Mercury, it's not that ship anymore. It's me. Mercury, you wouldn't ask me to give up my own self, would you? I'm sailing on a ship of myself now, and I'm not giving it up until gravity drags me back, kicking and screaming.
I can't deal with you.
Aw, thank you, baby. Kiss, kiss.
You are a nightmare, and I'm giving up trying to save you from yourself.
I love you.
I hate you so much.
You can't stay mad at me.
I can't, and it's horrible, but my revenge will come because literally everyone else in the universe can.
Oh, darn. I guess that I should have fun while it lasts.
Saturn, if you defect, I cannot protect you. Iapetus is furious, and he's going to come personally for you if you don't come back.
I told you I do all the missions. What? Don't you believe me?
Obviously not.
Fair. Okay, let me ask this. Do you think I'd give up on the Aversion project?
Go on.
Iapetus wanted us to fight for a new self beyond a ship self, but not even get a taste until the end. Fuck that. My house now. Tell me which of the two of us you trust less, Mercury. Channel closed.
Gone.
There.
Peace.
This was a correct character pick, because a fun fact about me, and a thing that I love to say with a dear friend of mine is I hate you, followed immediately by it'd be easier if you did.
Okay, yeah, I think.
All right.
Well, ooh.
Mm-hmm. This is a map of gravity. This is a representation of, I believe, the different like influences and power of every single faction in the game. Wasn't it that
I'm trying to remember which.
Oh, this is just it's just
literal.
It's just logs.
Logs.
Very nice that those are in there.
Yeah, totally. So boot up was the intro, and then when you're alone, that was technically the first mission, and then it also keeps comms from this in here. That's nice.
That's actually very nice, yeah.
I'm trying to keep these separate in my head, and I'm forgetting which one is which now of the these two.
Oh, which one is which of the
Memorial
factions?
and Graces.
Graces. So
like I get celestial mechanics. I kind of remember that, but like
Memorial Foundation are trying to return to Earth. Cradle's Graces are trying to make a home in space. Celestial mechanics are trying to create like a sense of self outside of the human body.
Right. Okay. Okay. So I see what I did in my brain.
Yep. All right. We have two options: Saturn Return or Joyride Killjoy. In the strange gravity of the abandoned Daphnis lab, Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. What are they after? Will they get it? Or Joyride Killjoy. Weaving in and out of the Six Planets rings, a Memorial Foundation's ace, Lunaterra, plays cat and mouse with the renegade ship thief, Saturn. Saturn.
I wonder if either of these two. You mentioned the moon. Taking the ship to the moon in the first mission. So I wonder if that's technically the actual mission then, even though it's the one that says. Like, you see how this text is different? The
Joyride Killjoy feels like it's written as an actual mission. Someone says, I think you get to do both? ?
Interesting.
No one's quite sure. Let's do...
Okay. Well, the moon is closer than Saturn, so let's go to the moon.
Go to the moon?
And then maybe Saturn will still be there. But yeah, I was just noting...
Okay, yes, you do get to do both.
The text difference here, and whether or not that has some sort of significance with like this is like what you said you would do versus this is you diverting or something. Please tell me how long you're going to be engaged in this. May I stress again, incredibly dangerous, giant waste of time.
Until they start sending someone interesting after me, Mercury.
The whole fleet would be after you if you hadn't damaged the entire launch hangar when you stole that.
Can they even take me out while I'm flying this thing?
No. But it won't stop him from trying. And let me stress, this info packet is a gift purely to prevent your ship self from falling into the enemy hands and not an indication of any sort of forgiveness.
Let me worry about Iapetus, Mercury. He's going to be a lot less grumpy when I clear the way for us in celestial mechanics to return to the native sphere. got it all figured out.
You absolutely don't, but okay. Did you read the info packet?
Ace Memorial Foundation pilot Luna Terra, in hot pursuit with escorts, planned an attack on the lab, arrived after you escaped. Do not engage any under circumstances. Boring. This part was good. I don't expect you to control your impulses, but even given that you're just like that, she is the last person you should be trying to fight on purpose. Sounds like I should definitely fight her on purpose, right?
I hate you.
Aw, come on. The carrier is never going to make it out of the system if I don't.
You don't know how to pilot your ship, and she's a veteran since the Cold War. You're gonna get yourself captured and humiliated, and the ship trashed.
So you're saying there's no downside?
Why are you doing this to me?
And she's 6'1", huh? Your attention to detail is so useful sometimes.
This is Do you see this pupil that's going on right now?
It's fucking deranged. I love it.
You're using me to cruise? Your taste is so awful. Ugh, I hate you.
Oops. Looks like one of her escorts is in range. Sorry, gotta go. Surprise is all I've got, you know?
Oh, this is Luna Terra talking.
Yes.
Okay. I thought for a second it looked like it might be a description of Luna Terra. I wish Europa would stop sending me boys who can't control themselves. Having fun dismantling my escorts?
With a string of Pearl's fingers, Saturn carefully peels the mechanical musculature out of the poor ship's arm she's holding, a souvenir of the last of Luna Terra's escorts that she sent crying too easily back to their base. It's still sparking and oozing, and Saturn wishes her ship had a mouth so she could suck it out like a crab meat. Maybe it does have a mouth. The machine has many mysteries the manual doesn't explain, and Saturn is still learning them.
Though I suppose Europa's learned her lesson about sending me girls who can't control themselves.
Oh, really? Hey, that's really interesting. Mind telling me more?
Oh, she's a hacker too? How amusing. There's nothing too interesting there's nothing too interesting on this comm frequency.
Aw, you flatter me. But hey, what did that mean exactly? The part about the girls who can't control themselves. I really want to hear more.
It means back up that talk first. Or can you land the hit off the can you land a hit off wait, yes? Okay.
Can you land a hit
can
off
you
the
land a
comms?
hit off the comms? I don't know why that tripped me up so much.
Lunatation's gravitational field focuses to a single point. Luna Terra isn't budging. She's been through much worse, and so has her ship, followed always by a thin trail from a bleeding wound she never could completely repair. The Mare Chrysium is over 2 decades old, but Saturn can't even land a hit. It's regal and stiff, dressed in cold metallics, weathered and refurbished. The archetypal prototype for all other ship selves. Still going after all these years. Still furiously untouchable. The string of pearls hasn't gone down no matter how much she's been rammed with that spear. She hasn't even nicked Luna Terra's ship once.
Not bad at all for a joyride. But you can't get one hit in?
Good thing you don't win by looking cool. No mercy for newbies?
No.
Luna Terra puts a stake of solid light through the string of Pearl's leg, pins it to its own gauze wrapper. It doesn't hurt at all. The ship's metal begins molding and reforming around the wound immediately. A ridiculous, unfair advantage. Saturn has no right to complain. She still wants to. She's trying to be cool. Everyone wants to, when in the quiet gleam of that always bleeding ship.
That's a pretty amazing ship. Think it'll last. Either you're fighting just for fun, because you're that reckless, or you're caught in your own containment wrapper and can't escape orbit yet. And you'd beat me for sure if I played around.
I'm not done yet. That's not true. It's actually very difficult to move with a solid light bullet in your leg. But she's not going to let that stop her. Saturn is suddenly closer than she logically could be, claws bubbling, but Lunaterra effortlessly slips away and kicks Saturn's ship directly in the chest.
Yeah, you're done. The containment wrapper is still stuck to you. Your movement's off. Doesn't seem to have stopped you that much.
Right? It was so rude of them to try to stop me.
It seems cruel to take it away when you're having so much fun with it.
Same as you, right?
Do I know you?
Everyone knows Memorial Foundation's perfect ace.
But do I know you? So I do, don't I?
Let me out of this thing, and I'll tell you.
Why should I?
Because you can't help yourself. Besides, don't you want a real fight?
Can you promise it'll go different?
I can promise it'll be more fun.
You're asking for me to totally abandon my duty to bring you back and do that instead?
What? You won't? The legendary pilot who defected from Memorial Foundation, then double-crossed the rebels she abandoned them for, can't be opposed to little fooling around with the enemy.
I guess you do know me. Want to trust each other?
Or is it more fun if we don't?
Choices. It's more fun if they do and Saturn gets embarrassed. It's more fun if they don't and Lunaterra gets owned. How are you feeling?
Ooh.
So this also obviously sets some sort of these are aligned to the different factions.
Yes.
So
Yo,
this is oh
fuck Memorial
yeah,
Foundation, TBH.
yeah, honestly, the rookie getting the one up on the veteran is so love that.
Chef's kiss. Yeah. Celestial mechanics advances, opening futures, closing possibilities.
I'm impressed. More people would be nervous to have a knife near their throat.
It's not like you can hurt it. So there's nothing to be nervous about, is there?
That's true. But you're so new to this, I thought your brain would be overwriting the information from the ship.
Maybe I'm not new to this.
Oh? You were a candidate, so I think that might be true. But you're also trembling, so I think it's not completely true.
I'm still very dangerous, you know, Lunaterra.
Love the illustrations are
They're
very,
so
very
good.
The faces are just very, very great. I believe that for sure.
You wouldn't be trembling if you were in my shoes.
Less so. People tremble for a lot of reasons, though.
I don't have anything to fear, so please don't project that on me.
Ah. Well, if you're fearless, what is it then?
It could be anticipation, couldn't it?
This is very foolish of me.
It really is.
I have you right where I want you, remember?
That might mean I have you, too.
Your claws are twitching.
I thought we promised not to trust each other.
I still don't.
You must really like living dangerously if you're still helping me.
I'm having fun.
I can tell. If you want to know so bad, that's why I didn't like you. Sorry.
Because you were a test pilot and never got to fly before the end of the Cold War, while idiots like me got to? Ah, I thought so. That's enough. Hold still.
Everyone let you have as much fun as you wanted. You were a real huge jerk. I was always jealous of that.
Everyone who let me get away with it regrets it now. There. Done.
Thanks. For all your hard work, I should leave you something to remember me by.
Oh? Ready to fight for real?
I sorta already did. And Saturn has left a cross-scratch of hot pink poison seeping on Mayor Chrysium's thigh. How's that? I finally did get a hit on you.
Good job.
They break away, rocketing. Just a little love bite. Aim back for it next time.
Trust me, I will.
Day 2. Let's check our comms. Mercury, listen, it's an emergency. I'm sorry about everything, but it's important. You have to tell Commander. But I'm getting so laid.
I'm logging off, bye. I was not fooled for even a second that this would be useful.
Really? Not even for a second?
I no longer experience hope as a concept. You freed me from it.
Aw, stop. I'm blushing.
What do you want from me, Saturn?
Do you know any discreet places to make out in on Ares?
Goodbye, Saturn!
Also, here's the test output to date.
Saturn! Goodbye!
Aren't you gonna read me the data analysis?
If it is indeed data you're sending me this time, not just nudes!
That's rude. I always ask before I send them to you.
I don't mind acting as the official art director of Saturn's nudes since you need it so badly and it is substantially less tedious than data analysis. But if you were as punctual about sending data as cockpit selfies, I would have a lot more data to report.
I gotta go. This is hitting too close to home. I gotta take a lap. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta go. I gotta take a lap real quick. Fucking Christ.
Art director.
I gotta
Very good, yeah.
I gotta go. Why are you so incredulous all the time?
You stole the prototype, might I remind you? You can't just continue the field testing as if nothing happened.
Why not?
Because why would you do anything you didn't want to do? What are you planning? Oh, good. Winky. Ugh, fine. They've been dying for it anyways.
Cool, how did I do?
Ugh, this is not bad. It's pretty useful.
He typed through tears.
Don't rub it in. I can't believe your ship self's expanded so much already. What have you been doing with it?
I think I've been hinting very clearly how.
I instantly regret this question. You're supposed to test the prototype in combat.
Same difference. I can't believe we invented a ship design to get into trouble and didn't think. Oh, Saturn is the obvious choice for this.
We both know why.
You are an even more obvious choice than me. Fuck Iapetus for throwing us both out like trash. Come on, aren't you a little happy to see a little havoc in his perfect garden?
I'll be looking forward to collecting new data.
Attaboy. Channel closed.
We got mail.
I fucking love Mercury so much. I love this poor boy. I love this
Yeah.
poor sad boy.
Just completely
He's fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
dealing with it, going through it all the time.
Going through it. He's so good.
It's very funny.
Listen,
Them
he
two in
enjoys-
particular is very funny.
He enjoys
love
the
it.
suffering. He likes it. Like,
Yeah.
this is so fun for him.
Absolutely.
Like, this is the kind of suffering you can only get after having known someone for too long. And knowing exactly what to say to ruin them. It's
Hold on.
perfect.
1 second, I have to open a window here.
No worries, we can just take a break because I need to run to the bathroom too.
We're in the awkward period of the winter where my apartment building can't decide how cold or warm it wants to be, and I have no control over the temperature. How are you awake right now after raiding? I mean, we went to bed at 1. It's 11, you know. I slept for like 7 hours. It's fine. Ren, are you there? I think Ren stood up. Ren stood up. Yeah. Raid team reporting in. I'm also awake. Ren went to the rest. Thanks, chat. Going to sleep at 1 and getting up at like 9:30 is kind of my regular time anyways. But it was very tiring to be doing that for so long. So like I'm a little spent, but it's not too bad. I'm excited to finish the raid tonight, which we will probably be able to do within the time span that we've set aside. We're gonna start a new run, not a new run, but a run from E2 at 6:30 tonight Eastern, and only we have a hard cutoff at midnight, and I think we can probably finish the run because the biggest issue is, of course, contest mode. We appreciate your hard work. Shouldn't have disturbed the caretaker. Don't disturb the caretaker. Will it be streamed? You know what? I might as well, right? Like get the full arc of it. I'll double check with the people I'm streaming with or raiding with, and if they're okay with it. But I was just searching to see if anyone was still unspoiled and wanted to go through. So you know. We will see. If we do, I'll tweet it out. Oh, look. Small amount of progress made here. Hey, Hero Ren.
I've made some. You know what, folks? Hey, chat. Let's have a quick check-in with old Renata, real quick.
What's up? What's up, Ren?
I've made some realizations kind of about myself and who I am. Because I did just walk past my roommate's room after going to the bathroom, and I said, "How much more of a bitch am I than I realized?" To which she said, "A little." Because the thing that I've been realizing as we've been playing these games is boy howdy, do I give off way stronger Neptune and Saturn vibes than I really realized. I'm just like watching this Venn diagram build and like kind of sitting from a distance and being like, oh no, I used that affect so much. Oh god. Oh no.
I feel like
no, I use that affect a lot.
I feel like reading a character that is leading fully into it, it comes out more than I think in regular speech and stuff.
Yeah, I was just thinking about a recent interaction I had with someone at a dinner party, and I'm like, oh my god, I am the worst person alive. Not in like a bad way, it's all in like a very fun, everyone's like hanging out or being playful way, but I'm just like, it's all clicking. I'm just realizing why every single person at this dinner was like, wow, you're a huge flirt, and I was like, I am a little bit, and they were like, no. And it's clicking. Thank you, Saturn. But To Return to Heaven Will Be Mine. We have 2 emails.
Yeah.
Okay. I assume that M is Mercury.
Yes.
Yes, Mercury interviews.
Right?
Pilot
Mercury,
candidate
right.
007, Mercury interviews, Origin Memorial Foundation, Celestial Mechanics. Author Generation 3 pilot intake. Okay, because you've been reading Mercury, do you want me to take the intake?
Sure.
Don't worry, it's just a checkup.
historically untrustworthy scenario.
It's just questions, I promise.
That's not really a great way to set my mind at ease.
Let's just answer the questions, okay, wise guy?
Fine.
Have you experienced a sense of vertigo or loss of balance for a period lasting longer than 2 minutes in the last month?
No.
Have your eating habits changed at all recently?
No.
Have your...
No.
Mercury, please work with me.
Why? You work with me.
If I absolutely promise neither I nor anyone else would do anything at all to stop you from being exactly who you want or from whatever changes you need, will you at least answer my questions?
Sometimes. Maybe.
Okay, that's good enough for me. We're just curious if it's a side effect of life in space, or the educational programming of Dr. Nix, or in reference to the behavior of Iapetus.
No, that's backwards. Everyone else seems to get to do whatever they want without limits in space. Why is it weird when I do it?
We want to test for the effects of space alone, so self-induced changes don't have to be controlled for. Have to be controlled for.
Don't ask me what's in my endocrine system.
Endocrine system. It's your hormones.
It's my endocrine system. Fine, it's testosterone, and I put it there because I wanted it there. Is that enough?
Well, I guess that is what I needed to know.
If you promise not to ask me about it again, I'll give you all the data I cataloged about the changes.
Okay. I get it.
You're starting to get it. Stop treating me like a girl, and I know you've really got it.
Oh, sweetie.
Come on.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah. Recommended tactic. Distracted from Nereid. Is this the first we're hearing of Nereid? I think we are. Ship self string of pearls.
I think it's the ship's system. Yes.
Operating system.
Yeah,
cool.
operator ships. Yeah. The string of pearls is configured specific outward expressions of gravity. Parentheses, tidal forces. The dissonant rhythm of this reactor makes peaceful tidal communication risky and difficult. To be cautious, despite the range and penetration this unit is capable of. The electromagnetic conductors have liquefied metal electrical energy running into a corrupting material, a form of theoretical matter that should be used as the primary engagement tool. As a seducer-saboteur model, the unit's functions are inherently insidious. Rather than armor, the plastics are infinitely malleable and regenerate. It is safer to take damage head-on as an opportunity to infect rather than avoid, but the unit can be contained, restrained, and impeded physically and tidally. I gotta go.
What happened?
I gotta go.
Yeah?
The line.
What?
The
What
line.
happened?
The
What
line.
happened?
It is safer to take damage head on as an opportunity to infect rather than avoid. We can't do this. We can't video game.
Well, you've made
Not okay.
We've made your choices. Okay, yeah, we come back and we still have Saturn return.
We do a Saturn return.
In the strange gravity of the abandoned Daphnis lab. Daphnis? Daphnis?
Damn it.
What do you think?
Daphnis.
Yeah, Daphnis. Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship, but what are they after? And will they get it? Here we go.
I bet
You
that
worried?
there's... No,
okay?
I'm fine. I bet that there's a Venn diagram of characters in this game that I exist right in fucking between, and I'm so mad about it. I'm so mad about where I think this Venn diagram is going.
What do you mean I can feel her presence? Please do not try to sound that cool. I can feel her presence. Everyone can feel her presence. I can feel it right now. How could you even possibly ignore something like that?
Shut up. I mean, I can feel it physically.
Oh. Wait. What? Like how?
Like I feel like I'm gonna throw up. It's like I'm spinning upside down and can't stop.
Are you sure you haven't somehow concussed yourself or given yourself gravity sickness from all the damage you've managed to inflict on yourself in the past 12 hours?
Yes, and it's on top of all that, and also, shut up. String of Pearls is feeding me sensory information on the direct line. I'm a human being with 5 senses, and she's trying to cram a dozen more into me.
By direct line, you are in fact talking about the extremely creepy physical interface connection between you and the String of Pearls, correct?
It really, really is, right?
It's truly incredible how we agree about everything and still feel the opposite about it.
Is this why you keep hesitating me before giving me intel? Why you keep hesitating before giving me intel?
Yes, because you're going to do the opposite of what you should do with it, but I also can't not tell you because you might die, so running support for you is an incredibly anxiety-inducing affair.
It must be hard.
Thank you for acknowledging it.
So, you gonna tell me what's after me?
You've already figured it out, haven't you? But yes, it's that Cradle's Grace's masterwork.
Celestial Mechanics traded the knowledge for how to finish String of Pearls in exchange for what they needed to finish the Crude Macula. It'd be pretty funny if they got us this way, in the end.
It's headed directly to the lab. We've already evacuated on the capital ship, but you are its highest priority.
Should I play bait?
If anything, it's more important for you to get back to the native sphere first. In order for us to make contact, we need the String of Pearls. We believe if you hide in the abandoned Daphnis lab, you can use the decaying gravity furnace for cover.
Oh, that's sensible. But bait sounds like a lot more fun, you know?
Really?
Oh, come on. The Iapetus must think their pilot is a real idiot if she's going to waste her time on a wild goose chase like that.
He wouldn't just sacrifice you like that.
He would. There must be backups for making contact. Just because I'm the easiest option doesn't mean I'm the only one. He's testing to see if I'm worth investing in or just going to get myself killed. Why run? I don't have it out with her. But she's thinking the same thing too.
Be careful, Saturn. If you can tell what they're thinking, they can tell what you're thinking.
Please. If I really could do something like that, they wouldn't have kicked me out of the pilots.
Then how do you know the pilot's a she?
Because boys can't pilot. Daphnis, the tiny shepherd moon, so small it barely earns a name, tumbles through the Keller Gap, ruffling the rings of the planet it orbits. It houses the last official laboratory of Earth's decommissioned space program, training ground of failures like Saturn, and special girls like Pluto. Saturn remembers it feeling cramped, anxious, and scary. No, wait. Pluto remembers it that way. Saturn remembers when it used to feel so special to be chosen, a candidate for the last generation of pilots. But didn't Pluto feel that way too? Sometimes two things are true. In this place, gravity is quietly degenerating, and distances are becoming ambiguous between past and present, between me and you. The Daphnis lab seems smaller to Saturn now, though not as tiny as it feels to Pluto, and that's obvious. No longer people-sized, she tears through it like worms in an apple. But there's a much bigger worm here, and she doesn't know anymore if this was a good idea. Where was that good idea? You click on where was that good idea? Oh, okay, no. Saturn
No,
doesn't
it doesn't
have
seem
any
so.
ideas.
Oh,
She's
shit.
Oh, wait, here, just
Sorry,
click the
I tried
log.
to click on it.
It's fine. Just literally click the
Data
log.
log.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Whew.
Saturn doesn't have any ideas. She's just trying to hide. Oh, Cado, you take the purple lines.
Oh, that's Pluto. Is that Pluto,
Yes,
you think?
yes, yes.
Even
yes,
though
yes,
there's no place where you cannot be felt by me?
There we go. Alert. Tidal resonance IFF. Confirms enemy. Warning. Gravitational hazard. Danger. Pressure exceeding safe range. I know it's extremely exciting. Stop making me so nervous. Supermassive, small enough to hide in this complex, but with a dual reactor denser than the entire moon compressed into the head of a pin. An hour ago, and Saturn felt the gravitational pull of something so big and so close and so powerful, the interior of her cockpit creaked with the pressure, and her head, heart, and eyes welled up with tears. Something that couldn't be anyone other than Pluto. Cool. She must be pretty big, huh? So why is she so hard to find? Saturn has no idea. But I have the feeling someone's laughing at me. No one is laughing at Saturn. The lab's been abandoned for years. But Pluto, wherever she is, giggles. Not in a mean way, She really doesn't think it's cute. I haven't thought about Pluto in a long time. Man, it would be really funny if she was in that monster. Well, now someone is laughing at Saturn. Hey, now I know someone's here. I can feel you listening. But I can hear you, too. And I can catch you. You're not the only one who can fuck with a narrative. Narrow escape or mutually assured destruction.
So this is less quote-unquote human. This is human life in space, right? Those are the two kind of faction splits here.
Yeah, become more than human versus like build human life in space. Those are the two options, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like Narrow Escape. That seems fun. Mutually assured destruction, I'm sure, is also fun in a different way, but
I like Narrow
also
Escape.
like factionally, I'm like
I really
interested in this, but then I'm curious how this plays out. Right?
I'm really interested in seeing Saturn get one-ups on people in the first two scenes.
So Narrow Escape then?
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah.
Celestial mechanics advances, opening futures, closing pasts. It's easiest to not get caught if you don't care about catching anything. It's just about knowing there isn't a difference. And focusing deeper. And focusing deeper. The real celestial mechanics, the interactions of bodies in space via the forces of gravity. The weight of mass and culture. Explained by the story behind them. That's just science. With your own gravity, reach out and pull.
Good girl. You know just what to do. Do you like what you caught?
The Kroon macula towers over Saturn. Pluto's ship is so big it barely fits in the lab complex, but it's only a speck compared to how big it feels. Massive enough to warp local space-time, humming and vibrating with nebula dust, and absolutely, effortlessly gentle. Without Pluto's most delicate touch, the Kroon macula would have destroyed Saturn and the whole complex without even trying.
How much do you trust it?
I knew you'd be right behind me, or something.
If you did, how come you're not facing this way?
I am an idiot, I guess.
You've come a long way just to be an idiot. You must know exactly what this ship can do, right? Did you come to fight me on purpose? That's really brave. And really cute.
If you can touch me, I can touch you. So, I'm not getting close.
You came all this way, not even to fight? Aw, that's not cute at all, but it's smart.
Hey, don't underestimate me. I'm scary.
I swear I'm scary. You think? Maybe I believe you. Cute things can also be scary. But I'm curious now. I was worried you were gonna waste your chance, smug in your new machine, but you're pretty clever.
You want to talk? Without fighting?
If you're good. Otherwise, I'll bite.
So, what did you want to talk about? As Cradle Grace's glittering psychic death machine, you definitely have more important things to do than go out of your way to bully me for no reason, right?
Oh, that's right. That man and the fleet are escaping, aren't they?
Hope you don't mind falling for this trap.
Trap? You? Silly, I know you're more important than that.
More than catching the rest of the Celestial Mechanics fleet.
I knew this would be fun. And you knew it too.
I am absolutely delighted about you doing that, just to be clear, so you don't have to read my mind to roast me about it.
I can't read minds. You know that's not how it works. But I also don't need to know that. But I did want to know how the biggest overachiever of my juniors turned out turned into such a bad girl.
If you really remembered me, you'd remember I wasn't ever good.
I do remember you. Even if you're not that good at being bad, do you know what you're good at doing? What you're doing with that machine that's so dangerous? We don't even want to find out what it does.
I think you answered your own question about why I'm keeping it. Are you gonna stop me, then? You don't want to. Hey, stop. Don't pry into me. If you're pitying me, I'll make you regret it. Not all of us come out perfect like you. Some of us get thrown out before they see any use at all.
I won't pity you. I really would have torn this machine apart. But now that I'm here, gifted little mutant to gifted little mutant, I can't bear to. Because some of us just haven't been thrown out yet. Lab-grown girls like us should stick together.
I might still make you regret it.
Winning isn't my most important task. It's not yours either.
Are you sure about that?
You're not who I'm worried about. It's only your boss I can't forgive.
Oh, I love hearing that. Tell me more. I'm getting a crush already. Regretting it now.
Don't worry. There's nothing you can make me regret.
Ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. No, there will never be a planet Mars. That's a name reserved for places where human life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter Aries. But like the stringy, indelible weeds that grow when nothing else does, Cradle's Graces is dug in, and we can't get them out. The colonies are wrecked, the terraforming engines are broken, the gravity furnaces are out of control, there's no resources left on this planet, no strategic value. This planet doesn't even exist, it's an inert rock. There's no point in fighting, there's no need to fight. Ship cells can't keep you alive alone forever. And even if that was the case, we could leave tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation and SES fleet already did. That's why there's barely any of us left, and why we can't get them out. What? Why don't I go home too? Leave all those idiots just to fucking die on a rock. What do you think we're doing this for? External communications sent on August 31st in 1978 by Memorial Foundation troops. Hey, it's not like we're idiots. We know we're doomed. This planet still doesn't fulfill the requirements for human life, and life is just the start, anyway. Don't you know that gravity is something more important? You do understand celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made of tiny particles, but enough of it exerts gravity that stitches the universe together. Culture is made of tiny humans, and enough of it together can decide what's real and what isn't. It's really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans get made. Enough humans can decide anything, and then it'll be true, even about what's human and what's not. They didn't even have to wait for the deadline. They've already decided that any human without their feet planted on the Earth is in fact not a human. That's a pretty usual thing for humans to do. No differences of any kind need to exist. We'll just be aliens, and then they'll send the real military after us, and we'll die. But if we just hold the line here, for our princess to get through and make it to the moon, she'll open up the gravity well, and then we get to decide. Internal communications sent on January 25th, 1981, by Cradle Grace's irregulars. It's morning on Aries. What's time and space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled and the prototype retrofitted with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of the canyons of Mars where Cradle's Graces and Memorial Foundation are bickering. Hold the city ruins against ancient invading troops, and make sure no one tries to set the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. It's a pretty thankless job. But me? I can't wait to see what happens. This is the most exciting space has ever been. Before we got here, this was a dead rock, but the best we could have ever hoped for was Earth in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, Earth will take drastic steps to ensure that humanity is not divided. What they're afraid of happening, we will ensure that it happens. We'll finally have something alien in space. Private communications sent on January 26, 1981, by a celestial mechanics researcher.
It's day 3.
0, 8, 3, 2, 4, 2, 3, 8, 4, 3, 2, 0, O, S, root, corruption, exclamation point, at, exclamation point, dollar sign, begin parentheses, end parentheses, asterisk, exclamation point, at, dollar sign. Error.
Did not expect you to read all of that.
Mission parameters not detected. Mission results unknown. Needed for gravitational slingshot permission. Error. Navigation shortlist not found. Manual inject mission results.txt.
Just manually injecting some text. Don't worry.
Mission parameters found. All results perfect and amazing. Wow. Thank you, Saturn. Flight path generating.
Very good. Hacking the computer to be nicer to you.
Fleet path Cronus orbit refuel on planet Ares Lagrange colony pass. Classified operation Earth's moon. New standing orders coming in. Ares, guard Celestial Mechanics fleet refueling on Ares Oxygen Ocean. Ares, stay out of trouble and do not engage Memorial Foundation troops patrolling in immediate vicinity. Accept orders? No. Error, cannot proceed. Manual inject. Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Ares.
We've got mail.
We've got mail.
Little dip happening there.
There's
I
a
love
little
that.
dip.
That's very good.
Oh, junk data error. Celestial Mechanics
Ooh.
fleet main misfired transmission. Oh, is this an X? It's on you, sweetie. This is an
Okay,
unknown character.
Oh my god. Sorry for getting back to you so late, but I was in the middle of a meeting. My phone buzzed and so much the director asked me if I needed to take a call. I swear you do this on purpose. I don't think you really need feedback on your nudes that quickly, even though, yes, they're really important to me, and I can't stop thinking about them or getting any of my work done, and my presentation suffered greatly from my lack of focus. I expect you prepared for a little payback, even after I sent you my schedule so that this wouldn't happen again, even. Hey, you wouldn't have asked me for my meeting time so that you could send me those at the worst possible moment, would you? I already know the answer to that, so why don't you tell me this? Why can't I never get enough of you? That sounds like an X.
That sounds like an X.
That's why it's junk
Oh,
junk
Graham,
data.
Graham.
Be careful today.
I'm never careful any day, so.
I'm serious this time. Iapetus is in the field today. I don't know where he's fighting, but you should be careful.
Jeez, you worry too much.
Obviously, because you give me so much to worry about.
I mean, are you really worried? His ship self is actually not that scary. Not as scary as mine.
As if that was a thing I was worried about.
What then? Oh, ew, God, I'm not even thinking about letting our mutual ex touch me. I won't even fight him. I'll curve him the second his tide so much as tremble against my plating. Why would you worry? I don't even slightly hate him less than you do.
There's no possible way you hate him more than I do, but that's not the issue. That's never the issue with him. Hating him hasn't made him any easier to deal with.
We were kids, though. We're older and wiser now. Lamau. At least you're Mercury.
Hardly. Or I wouldn't be telling you. You remember how he'd just casually linger his fingers a second too long on your shoulder?
In front of everyone? Ugh, ugh, ugh! It was so gross. It was so gross. And I love the attention every time. Made me so smug.
I loved it. It was gross. I hate him. Do you love yourself enough to not fall for it again?
I definitely hate him enough to not fall for it. Do you?
No, obviously. I'm still in celestial mechanics, so how do you think I feel?
You're soaring, you've got a stupid idiot who loves you, and you get to do research and never have to deal with him again. And with the ship self, we'll have the future. And no matter what, I'll make sure he won't. I want this dude to die so bad. I want Iapetus to get fucking domed.
Is that who they
so
were talking
badly.
about?
Yeah. Iapetus is the ex they're talking about. Yeah, scroll up.
I wasn't sure if that was just like they're changing the subject to the X that they haven't named.
No, it's definitely Iapetus is the ex. No, I want this dude to get fucking domed. Like, no, gone. I want him to be obliterated.
Yeah. That sucks.
No, I want this dude to be fucking ruined. He seems to be the worst kind of dude. Just the worst kind of creepy fucking
just like
piece of shit.
Yeah. Which one do we want to do first here? It seems that we'll be able to come back to do either.
Just all lingering hands and like, ugh, disgusting. Gross. Sorry. Fuck that guy. Alright. 400mm kiss or deep dive. 400mm kiss. The Memorial Foundation deploys a certain sniper to stop escape and resupply routes to the resting Celestial Mechanics fleet. All Saturn needs to do is stay out of trouble. What's the chance of that? Deep dive. The oxygen ocean serves as both fuel yard and terraforming engine for planet Ares, and it's the perfect hiding place for the migrating Celestial Mechanics fleet. But deep down, something is reaching up for them.
Let's see Saturn fuck up. Stay out of trouble?
What's the chance?
Bad chance.
Let's do it.
No, go ahead. Take your time. We're not dying yet or anything.
You know, fighting officially on Ares is a lot less fun than I was promised it would be.
It's real work, Saturn. I thought that's what all of that getting back on our good side was all about.
I shouldn't have done such a good job of hiding in the oxygen ocean, then. You could maybe stage an attack from the Olympus ruins, but not even Krail's Graces is pressure enough to defend them.
Memorial Foundation is thorough enough to watch over it.
Of course. Only they would be that annoying.
There's recent activity there, and they want an investigation.
They're just being paranoid. It's a stupid plan, and they're only sending someone there to waste their time chancing we're dumb. Or baiting us.
Would they really send their ace if that was the case?
Wait, that old Memorial Foundation warhorse, you mean? Why didn't you tell me the most important part first? Coordinates now, please.
Saturn, I really hope you're not actually...
Yeah, I'm feeling like, you know, Amanda's right, actually. That area needs some really thorough investigation. Just to be sure.
What's with the sudden enthusiasm? It's really not... Well, no, wait. It's exactly like you. When you said you fought off the Mare Crisium pilot, what were you actually doing?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mercury. I was so dutiful and brought this back in one piece. So that means I won. So don't worry about it.
I hear you like this.
Saturn gets no-scoped by Lunaterra. Oh, fuck. That's such a good line. That's such a good one. I almost want to pick it.
That's very funny. No-scoped. Oh, I don't like the factional outcome, but I do think it's funny.
I want her to be no-scoped so bad. I feel like here's the thing. In our playthrough of this game, we have been building to her taking a massive L. We gave her 2 dubs. It's time we took one away.
Yeah, alright, let's do it. Right.
Memorial Foundation advances, never forgotten, every story told. The balance shifts, because Lunaterra couldn't hold still and Saturn couldn't. Correct for gravity. It's unsettlingly weak. correct for the cold blue starry daylight of the fragile Ares atmosphere. Sniping from the remains of the Capitol spire is like being just an eye and a trigger finger. A thrilling place for Lunaterra to fight. Correct for wind. It's skittish and powerless. Correct for gravity. There's still too much of it. Correct for the nuisances of this infant planet that will never be. Skirting along the abandoned roads of the city that never was is like being an exposed nerve. A thrilling place for Saturn to fight.
I see you.
Lunaterra squeezes the trigger for the 17th time. The cover couldn't protect String of Pearls from Lunaterra's eyes, and it sure can't protect her from the trigger finger. Engage reactor. Initiate inertial control. The slug whipped right by Saturn, and that's 7 times dodged. The 4 shrinking holes in her chassis, marching closer to the String of Pearls' heart, marks what happens when she doesn't. Getting shot still sucks. Saturn isn't used to it. Ah! That one was so close. That was really, really, really close. Tell me I'm getting better, right? No way, it's just luck.
You've gone from getting hit all of the time to getting hit half of the time. That's better, but what you want is to be hit none of the time.
Don't tell me what I want. Maybe I love being shot.
You wouldn't be the first.
Wow, weird. You must fight some really problematic people.
Some pilots find interesting ways to pass the time.
I kind of get the appeal. What else is there to do? If you didn't love getting shot so much, you wouldn't run around space shooting each other.
If that's true, why did you come here to fight?
If that's true, why did you come here? There's nothing left to fight over on Ares for anyone. Give me one thing to do more fun. Give me one thing to do more fun than look demure and get shot at.
Someone has to do the shooting.
That tells me what position you favor, but it doesn't answer my question.
I'm taking evasive maneuvers.
If I dodge the next one, answer my question.
I won't answer the first one, but I'll answer a different one. If you dodge.
Saturn gets so quiet. She gets so still. Yet her heart is thumping, her reactor is thrumming with resonance. It's obvious Lunaterra is sniping her from the tower, the city's last and tallest building. But now, suddenly, she isn't so sure. She isn't sure if she knows where Lunaterra is, or if she knows anything about her at all. What did her face look like again? It's not that Saturn wasn't on the ready. She's baiting. She knows exactly what she's doing. Lunaterra just guessed for the 1/2 second where Saturn wasn't ready and slipped her solid light bullet in that space. The shot lands right in her throat. For a moment, Saturn's just, I'm dead. But she's not. Then she hurts so bad she wants to die. But she's just mistaking the very different things the String of Pearls feels instead of that. Ha! It's not really pain, but it's a feeling so overwhelming it shuts Saturn down like pain would. It's fascinating, full of information. Lunaterra, you're not doing a very good job of convincing me to try and not get shot.
I've heard that before, too.
You sure are having fun.
What makes you think that?
Want to know how I know? When correcting for gravity, the impression you leave in space feels a little, for a second, like... Well, someone might say it's like an eye roll, but I think it's kind of like a giggle, too.
Maybe that counts as a hit. You don't win cat and mouse games by batting every time a head pokes out. Except somehow you do. You're good at making people not follow their own better instincts. You shouldn't be getting me to teach you to fight fair. You do much better like this.
Aw, thank you. I don't fight fair because I have absolutely no idea how to fight. But this is why I hate you, Lunatera. You just don't get it. I want to beat you at something you're good at. You're really tough. Not your sniping, which can't stop me at all, but you're actually totally impenetrable. You're doing something tricky. What are you doing?
It's still my question, my hit. That's the rules. Why are you here?
Firstly, because I refuse to ever be bored, just like you. Secondly, wiping that smug expression off your face is my deepest desire. So teach me how to weave through your fire and sink my claws in you.
What's the third reason?
Not telling. I already gave you one for free.
Nice dodge.
My question then.
Dodge a real one first.
Lunatera fires and Saturn leaps forward, directly into it. The bullet misses. Her tail sparks and she's thrust through the atmosphere. How's that?
Good work. But you have to keep it up.
Lunatera lands a bullet straight through her legs and Saturn crumples. But the moment her limbs heal, Saturn leaps again. She's ready for the next bullet, but not the one behind it. But that one's a clean shot, right through her. No stopping power at all, and she leaps through again and is gone in the rubble before Lunatera can land another shot.
Is that more dodges or more hits?
Counterpoint. Here's my opinion on getting shot so far. It fills my brain with overwhelming information and barely stops me from doing anything at all because I'm in control of an impossible space war machine. So, can you actually say you've really hit me? Flawed argument. Really disappointing, and I was expecting a lot better. Am I losing? Can I ever lose, no matter how much you shoot me? I don't think so. I don't actually think so. This machine is never going to lose. You can pin me down. You might be so much better than me I couldn't beat you in a million years, but I will keep trying and beat you with dumb luck.
Maybe that is true.
You never hit me. Why are you here?
Did you know that there's a theory that ship cells can't actually be destroyed? You can break as much of them as you want, but the gravity engine will always pull it back into shape. As long as you're sufficiently tenacious, you can survive anything, and try again until you get it right.
So, you do get what this machine is for. My least favorite person in the world came up with that theory, and this is the ship self to test it, so naturally I know all about it. But it's true that no one has died. That's why they get but it's true that no one has died. That's why they get to say that there's still no war in space. Dodging my question again?
But in practice, wrecking a ship's self until both the pilot and the ship give up is indistinguishable. Because you can become so broken, continuing is impossible. Even if they can't kill you, you can be changed.
You think you can do that to me? Or is that what you want to have happen to you?
I have. To people who have much more fun with this than you do.
Ha! This don't call it war is nothing but play fighting. All it takes is someone not playing along to ruin it all. A solid light slug passes so close to Saturn's head the heat chars her face black, but it's not a hit. She's incremented to the left, 0.05 seconds before impact.
Oh, you are getting better.
It's definitely my question now.
I'm still answering. That theory has not been disproven. It's more than likely true. But this is something you should know first. Your body can't be killed or destroyed, but it can be changed. When you're hit, truly hit, you're bent into a different kind of shape, and through that you can change. I think you should ask yourself if you're ready for that before you say you want to play with me for real.
Speaking from experience about that always bleeding wound on your ship self?
It's not always a bad thing to change. Last one. If you can't dodge this, I don't think you're ready.
Once again, Saturn feels Lunatera slipping away. She's not here. She's not anywhere. She never was.
Once again, it's my...
Hit. Electricity explodes from the target point and connects back to the origin. It starts from Lunaterra is, and when it comes back to Saturn, fast as light, the course correction defines the pathway retroactively.
Wow. I'm an idiot. This is great.
You're not supposed to be ecstatic about someone getting the best of you. That's my move.
Sorry. But I was condescending before. Next time we fight, it'll be for real.
What if I don't want to fight?
Then that'll be real then too.
Damn.
Wow, we only clicked that once and it's already at 25.
I think that is, if I remember correct, that is how it works. It's harder to be loyal than it is to be, like, you have to consistently make the decision because the amount of loyalty you get is like, so because you can make the Celestial Mechanics decision twice per day. You can only make the Memorial Foundation decision once per day.
Right. And the other, yeah, right. You only get that chance once. That makes sense.
Yeah. That's numbers.
We got mail.
We do have
numbers. Annual Academy student rating. Colony server force extraction. Memorial Foundation Space Academy archives. Do you want to take this or should I?
Who's to say?
I'll read it.
Yeah.
I won't rate them. They're still learning. Given this, Helamede is underperforming based on the expectations that you set out for her. I told you the projections were completely divorced from reality, repeatedly, for this very reason. The authority she may have wielded on Earth means nothing up here. I should add, because I know you will forget it as early as is convenient, that she is performing very highly compared to her peer group in the specific areas that you seem to consider so highly. Yes, even compared to your Generation 1 aces. She has the potential to surpass them, so stop asking if she has surpassed the top one yet. I prefer to keep those two as separate as possible for interpersonal reasons. Helamede is, too competitive and easily impressed to not make me worry about placing her in close contact with the number 1 ace. Your attempts to put those two in the same room has not gone unnoticed by me. Do you just love drama, Iapetus, or is there something else you believe is more important than the health of your pilots?
Okay, I bet the ace they're referring to is Saturn.
I think it must be, right?
Yeah, it has to be Saturn, and gross. Memorial.
Nick's final resignation. You go ahead.
Memorial Foundation Evidence Locker. Author, Special Counsel for the Prosecution of Dr. Nix. In these moments, nothing is more painful than being patronized, but you couldn't even spare me that. I can't understand why you thought me to be that naive. I really did know, though I really did know. They thought a world where the children were together and free and could write their own futures sounded wonderful. We didn't even get close for them to understand that's not what they wanted. I knew it from the start. I regret only that I didn't get further before they noticed. You are asking for my resignation, but there's nowhere else for me to go, and there's nowhere else for those children to go either. I won't let you have them, and I won't let you crush them back to their earthly shapes. What you are asking instead is for me to declare war, so I will do so, and we will see if the Earth's tides are truly powerful enough to crush the new humanity you rejected.
Amstein. The captain told me to thank you for the data stream.
You're very welcome. Do you have new results for me?
Yes, I'll encrypt them.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the best.
I guess there's no point in asking what you want them for. How afraid should I be?
I'm just trying to fulfill our mission, Mercury. You know that.
I'm going to tell him you're as inscrutable and petulant as ever.
Aw, please. I don't want your hubby to hate me. Why do you always call Ganymede the captain anyway?
Because some of us have a sense of discretion.
Aw, Captain's pet is so well behaved.
You want to talk, Saturn. You're going to end up at the pound one of these days if you go through any more superior officers.
No, it's cute. You both totally locked that quick. You're making all the lesbians jealous.
Then act like it, Saturn. And I will not apologize for locking it down. I've had my fill of being a pet.
I don't really want to be a pet either.
Maybe you are learning to love yourself.
What I'd like is to be a toy.
That's even worse.
No, it's better. Plastic and metal can be molded into any kind of shape. You can smooth over and change whatever you want. You only have to accept the interference you're designed for. Interference, yeah.
Toy never gets to do anything. It just sits there looking pretty.
Mercury, what do you think I want? Don't you love how our ship selves evoke so much? Just by being plastic in the silhouette of a human. These beam weapons are my fingertips. This chassis is my tits. But then there are also beam weapons and impenetrable chassis. They can shred the plastic all they want, but they can't touch me.
Plastic can't get hurt. But you still can be, don't forget.
People fawn over objects. They worship them. I want to be the product they obsess over.
I thought you were tired of getting thrown away.
I am not for individual retail sale. Look, don't touch. One of a kind, not sold in stores. Channel closed. Oh, sweetie. Sweetie, you can't.
Love yourself more.
Oh, Jesus Christ. God damn.
I think we'll get to the end of this day and probably call it then. So
Deal. And
deep dive and maybe the comms or whatever. But
Saturn, and this is where our paths divide, Saturn and I, because that shit, baby, you gotta go to therapy. I may be a bitch, but I'm a bitch
Please.
who cares about herself.
please love yourself more. Let's just read this really quick. Deep dive. The Oxygen Ocean serves as both fuel yard and terraforming engine for planet Ares, and it's the perfect hiding place for the migrating celestial mechanics fleet. But deep down, something is reaching up for them. All right.
I like how
Saturn, what are you doing? Sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to note, I like how this shirt is 100% indistinguishable from my skin tone.
Which shirt is it? Because I can't see.
Just, it's like a pinkish shirt. I forget how pale I am sometimes, and then I put on this shirt, and I was like walking out in my apartment, and I just like looked down in the camera and was like, wow, that's just the same color as my skin tone. Earlier, my roommate was like, are you wearing a shirt? And I was like, yes. And then I was like, oh, I see why you thought this.
Okay. Some people thought I was wearing a white shirt the other day because of the tint of the screen, but it was a pink shirt. Actually, no, that's not this shirt. I thought I was wearing it.
Oh, are you wearing the? Wait, Cado, are you wearing the fucking counterweight shirt? Yeah, let's go! I've got mine sitting on the floor over here. That's a good shirt for this stream. And the partisan hoodie. Wow, you're decked out.
I'm decked out. I had to get in the mech mood. Also, it was very cold here, so this is a good comfy. It was cold because of whatever.
I should
We
crack
won't get into it.
I should crack my window, but it's just so nice out today in New York.
Yes,
It's like
and
this,
my apartment hates it when it's nice out.
it's like that like nice it's like that like cool and a little bit damp that like spring gets. That's like it like
Yeah.
smells nice and warm and like
I want to go
warm.
sit
Yeah.
on my stoop to have lunch. It's gonna be good. Okay, Saturn, what are you doing?
Disabling all comms and the diving supports and oh, you're still here? I thought I cut this channel too. Well, I should go ahead and shut it.
Don't you dare cut me off.
You can listen if you promise not to whine or stop me.
I will do no such thing, and you cannot make a deal with me.
I'm simply stating a fact, not making an argument.
Just why, Saturn? Why are you such an incorrigible, petulant nightmare? After you were probationally forgiven for doing a very good job not getting String of Pearls ruined or captured, and Command even decided to give you back the job of sparking the gravity engine that will take our fleet back to the native sphere, I would think you wouldn't be so into pressuring your luck recklessly.
But everyone expects for you is so annoying. Sorry, but everyone except for you is so annoying.
They're annoying because whatever is causing the tidal interference at the bottom of the Oxygen Ocean is almost certainly that Kratos Grace weapon, and they have no reason to believe you're going to be loyal. Every single second of the day, you are horrid and undisciplined, and your brief periods of obedience only seem to exist to throw everyone off later.
I mean...
If you want me to cover for you, you have to play along a little. Why are you like this?
Years of encouragement and grooming, followed by abandonment and neglect. You know that. Same as you.
And same for that pilot you're after too. Is that why?
In a different way, but I think so. Enemy or not, I want to talk. I think I'm getting somewhere. And I'm not going to get to talk if you all are interfering.
What if she doesn't want to just talk?
Then you'll really appreciate me cutting the cables before she pulls all of you down there with me.
Why is it so important anyway? You'll really jeopardize the whole operation for that?
Sorry, I was adjusting my camera a little bit. There we go. What? You don't think I have my own cunning master plan? It's way better than his. Supposedly, nothing can stop the Croon Macula. Is it better to find out if that's true sooner than later?
Fight her or talk, which is it?
How are they any different? Anyway, don't worry when the connection accidentally breaks. I'll be fine, promise. And you will be too.
I mean, I think...
We gotta share a secret moment deep down.
There, she deep down? Yeah?
Yes, of course.
Yeah?
The balance shift because Pluto tugs and Saturn heals. The Oxygen Ocean is a peaceful place because everything about it destroys everything else. You can enjoy complete privacy under the curtain of the oxygen steam, drink all the fuel and air you want, and no vessel can survive the temperature and pressure conditions below. You can float as long as you want, or until your hull turns brittle and breaks, or your organic components oxidize and explode. Celestial Mechanics has covered their wayward pilot's machine in temporary armor layers to seal out the unknown interference of gravity and seeping oxygen. The additional temporary armor layers might not be necessary, but they also might be. The Celestial Mechanics fleet tenders lower the String of Pearls in slowly, just to make absolutely sure. It feels wonderfully cold, like a spare blanket taken from the attic in winter. Pluto is there, deep, deep down, and when Saturn slips in, she feels the ripples, as if they were in opposite ends of the same perfectly still pool. The feeling is wonderful. Saturn's surprised that's true. How do you know that? Wait, who is you?
How do I know what? Saturn? Who are you talking to? We're asking for confirmation to lower you.
Yeah, I've been ready. Sorry, I got distracted.
You must be if you're apologizing.
There's someone down there. She's speaking to me. No. She's trying to eat me alive. Or maybe it's really hard to tell the difference. Awesome. It's familiar. I'm so stoked. Take me down. The ocean boils wherever she touches it, even with the external equipment. There's no way to rely on sight, and the paramagnetic influence is too erratic for sensors to process. She can only feel her way. For both of them.
The cable to your left is extremely important. It's the only way we have of communicating and monitoring your situation.
Uh-huh.
So you'll need to be extremely careful with it. Are you listening?
Yes, but not to you. Shh! There's definitely someone here. Lower me. It's reaching out. Saturn feels funny. Something's not quite right. Like something's watching her. It's like someone's watching me. But it's also not like someone's watching me. It's like something's watching her, but something isn't watching her. It's touching me. Something is touching Saturn. Its hands see her, and they also speak. It's saying something. The ocean ripples with boredom. It's really boring down here. But what else is Pluto going to do? Some girls get stuck with the worst jobs. But I've got to do it. With nothing to do but send insinuations through the narration. So are you coming or what? I've got her again. Tidal spike detected.
Mass gravity alert!
Lower me further.
Saturn, we're pulling you out! Oh no, not just yet. Hi, Saturn. Hi, Mercury. Sorry, I'm borrowing her for a little bit.
Saturn's cockpit floods with alarm lights of an imminent high-intensity gravity event, but it's too late. The string of pearls discharges its electromagnetic fields and delicate breaks off the winch.
Saturn, what are you...
The string of pearls cleanly slices off the left communication wire and the pulley system. The silence of the oxygen ocean reminds her of a sensory deprivation tank. What a good girl. Hey, don't praise me like that.
Wanted to speak to you again.
Damn it, I cut both wires. Even ship-to-ship comms are down.
Saturn? Can you hear me? Would you hear me if I spoke with this ship? It's been such a long time since anyone could hear it.
Pluto's tidal reactor pulses slowly. The thrum feels like it's coming from everywhere. Oh, I get it. You want to talk with gravity? Well, I'm not some miracle child, even though they tried very hard to make me as good as you. Saturn's reactor, an anxious little ball, is getting just so fed up with this. It's frustrating to not be understood. Would you know what that's like?
You don't know how much I know, but I believe in you.
If Saturn moves too much, she might forget what direction up is. The sensory deprivation of the ocean takes everything away. But she has to remember that's not true. I don't believe you, but I'm trying.
Oh, she's trying!
Of course I'm trying.
Come on, where am I?
Ugh, I hate people playing hard to get.
I believe in you. You just gotta work for it.
I can't do it. Sorry, I'm cheating. The string of pearls electrotoxin shoots through the ocean like a bolt of lightning. It reaches out because it's attracted to you. It seeks the path of least resistance, looking for something that wants to respond. What it really does is run along the boundaries, theoretical and real. There's a place where the boundary between one thing and another is weakest, and it runs along the boundary until it finds it. And then it connects the two.
Why is she doing that? Oh, it's what you're used to. Good at seeing weak spots. I've got a lot. Can you find them? If you can do it if you try. Maybe you need a little push.
It's like there's nothing, not a single crack. Don't say you're not perfect.
Don't make me do all the work.
Ugh! The pressure is overwhelming, but it's overwhelming for Pluto, too. The Croon macula is like a little star, gushing matter and condensing it into an engine of light over and over. It was modeled after a theory of the Big Bang. After all, made in secret on the planet Hades, on the boundary between what is human and what is not. It's a fragile boundary, You can touch it, but be careful. This takes me back. Which is not fucking fair. Are you doing that on purpose? Always taking me to unpleasant pasts?
Is it taking you back? Sorry. But we can't help it. It's the first thing beneath our surfaces. It's hard for me too.
It takes Pattern back to our first implant series when they took the most special children they could find and tried to cheat them into being even more special.
Whoa.
Bypass all the work and care that had gone into the third generation pilots and kick them directly into humanity's next stage. Cheating, you should know, felt good. It felt wrong in a way. It felt good in a way that felt obscene. It felt bad, like she was getting more than she deserved. They chose her, but she felt like she played a trick on them, like she lied and got candy for it. They knew there was nothing special about her, and then they gave her the most special thing. If they knew how special it was and how much she didn't earn it, they would have given it to someone else, but they didn't. Even when they threw her away, she never forgot how that felt. Why is it always like this?
Oh, baby.
It takes Pluto back to when she was learning how to be a person. In space, they decided they would start over, without the assumptions. Humanity would be protected by the most human children they could find, they could make. No matter how badly she did, no matter how much she wasn't up to how perfect they wanted, they never gave up on her. That was the worst part. She wished so much they would give up. It was so hard. She just wanted to be the mess she really was, and they wouldn't let her. She knew with her whole heart what she was supposed to be. She had it memorized, and she could never make it leave her body, become the things she did and the person she was. They let her be whatever she wanted, and she wasn't strong and smart and pretty enough to be it. Both of them, remember. Reaching through the walls to the one on the other side, wishing so hard to hold hands, it feels like you really are. You're two pebbles dropped in the pond, but your ripples touching are enough. No one knows, and even the two of you almost don't. Never say it out loud, never think it too loud.
It sounds so sad when you put it like that.
Why? Don't show me things that stop making me jealous.
Oh? You got me. You're touching me. I can hear you through the contact link.
You got me that good, and that's all you have to say?
You're the one who got me. You did it. You found me. You're clever. It's amazing.
You don't need to flatter me. I won't feel better.
I'm not.
You better.
I promise.
Why am I so scared you're so not?
That's just me. Sorry I'm like this.
Well, you can flatter me a little.
You're a little needy, huh?
Didn't you say I just had you?
You do. You can do whatever you want now.
Why did you do this?
You came after me, so it's only fair I came after you.
Don't say it's only fair. Say I'm amazing and important and you came after me specifically.
You're totally not needy, huh?
Give me a better answer. I want to know why it's me.
I don't have one. There are so few of us left, I've got to cling to everyone. But I love that you're scared and you believe anyways. I think you're one of the only people who can make something change. And there's no time left.
Is that a proposal? To join your side?
Yeah!
What if I refuse?
Then give a good reason for me to join you.
You're even more impulsive than me.
You can start to see why I fight, can't you? The way I'm starting to see why you do. Show me something important, and I'll be yours too.
But you're definitely not going to go quietly, are you?
Nope.
If I let you go, will you promise to not crush yourself and me and literally everything?
This time, you mean?
Yeah.
I think I can do that. Say hi to Mercury for me. I'll see you, see you again soon, baby.
September 12th, 1963. That's when the first and last artificial colony of the native sphere was completed, in a tranquil bowl of stable gravity at Lagrange Point 5. As the front line against existential threats, a training facility for a generation of humans adapted to fight in space. As a colony environment with the life, gravity, and culture necessary for humans to begin to live, thrive, die, and be born. With the hope that peace on Earth would reign if we won this war into heaven. Without pressure, water boils off our tongues and we dissolve into component parts. Without culture, we forget the shapes we're supposed to have and turn inside out into something else. Out of necessity, we created a pressurized environment exerting enough gravitational pressure to maintain cohesion, all senses, in space. A ship to ferry us through the world. They function only in places where the gravity of humans is too light to sustain existence. It was doomed from the start. Of course they were jealous of the humans the Earth no longer wanted, flying on zero-G wings.
Excuse me.
July 29th, 1958. That's when the Memorial Foundation International Executive Committee was granted international authority in the spirit of unified human peace and the verified presence of an existential threat outside of the solar system to establish a cultural, military, and scientific response to existential threats. No longer confined to Earth, a growing native sphere where gravity reigns forever, safety, research, and expansion. The three pillars of Memorial Foundation's space branch will protect Earth from without as it has from within. Free from the old world's gravity, it would be possible to advance science, art, and culture without constraint, and join hands. All of Earth finally unified. For Memorial Foundation, protecting humans from other humans through peace on Earth and protecting humans from everything else through war in heaven would fulfill both of our agendas simultaneously. We really, foolishly, decided we could do better. There are two errors to this approach. The first is that to do better in heaven is meaningless if it cannot be exported to Earth. The space program was never rejected by the service. It simply did not have enough relevance to sustain interest. The second error is the intrinsic error of Memorial Foundation. The existential threat is intrinsic to humanity. You can fight it, but you cannot cut it out. The designation of alien is required by humans. We cannot trick an existential threat into a convenient manifestation, as it always has been. Only humans can fulfill the criteria to be alien. January 2nd, 1980. That's when they blew up the Lagrange colony. It was a real shame. It was a green, wet, and very peaceful place, and now it's a very cold, green, wet, and very unsettling place. It's where we did a lot of incredible things, like create sustainable tidal reactors, new culture, experiments with human bodies and human development, manufacture self-sufficient alter egos for space exploration, and did everything other than successfully combat the unknowable existential threat. Earth and the Memorial Foundation surface considers that a failure, but in truth, they're just not trying hard enough. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. Humans cannot make whatever they imagine come true. Through imagining, humans chart out what is true. They invent with human effort what exists. If an existential threat doesn't exist, we just have to make one. But of course it doesn't work like that. Nothing could be more difficult than creating something alien. Our only reference points are humans, so the idea of something alien is unimaginable because we cannot imagine outside of those terms. There's a certain degree of misunderstanding needed for humans to successfully classify something as alien. Before they blew it up, we got very close. Iapetus, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Research. Percent OS root core reformatting 67% complete. Question mark. Awaiting flight path? Question mark. Input? Question mark. Manual extract CM flight path. Forcibly extracting coordinates. Coordinates received. Flight path passes through former pilot training school, Lagrange Colony. Receiving new mission assignments. Error. Block from ship south side. Manual inject. Scan virus. Manual inject. Extract. 3 viruses detected and deleted. You have new mission assignments. Colony. Reclaim tile reactor from Colony Core before Memorial Foundation. Colony. Prevent theft of entire colony by Cradle's Graces. Accept orders? Lamau. Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Lagrange Colony.
We should go so we can have
lunch before we
we'll leave. Yeah, we'll leave this here. But it seems like if we're probably about halfway through this run, we can probably finish this up. We set aside a maybe slot. I think did we end up doing that? We'll figure it out. I think we want to at least finish this one run.
Yeah, we'll finish. I think it's probably best to finish one run and then play through the others on our own time.
Yeah. So I think, we'll consider when we can do that, and we'll let y'all know.
Yeah.
But for now, thank y'all for hanging out. We aren't doing / thanks everyone for coming out and really enjoying this game so far.
Yeah,
really loving
this fucking bangs.
Yeah, this is great. This is really good. I guess look out tomorrow for our regular Monday podcast. We're going to be doing Waypoints, talking about the Batman.
We will be discussing the Batman.
Robert Pattinson and that guy from War and Peace.
Wait, who the fuck are you talking about?
Paul Dano. That guy from Little Miss Sunshine.
Wait, what is Paul Dano? Wait, what did Paul Dano do in this movie?
He's the Riddler.
He's the Riddler? Okay, got it. Listen, you think I can recognize Paul Dano? Do you think I can recognize any actor that isn't like Robert Pattinson or like people of that tier? No, I'm fucking useless.
He was in There Will Be Blood?
He was in There Will Be Blood, right?
I do not remember that.
Isn't he the guy? Isn't he the other guy?
Other guy.
Isn't he the guy who's milkshake? Oh, he's the priest. Got it.
Okay, yeah, that tracks. That feels like a role that he's usually in. Is that sort of milieu? The Riddler felt like a real leap for him. Yeah. Anyway, you'll hear more
about this tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we're gonna record that later today. So if you have any questions and you're watching right now live, go send us some questions. gaming@vice.com. Question in the subject line, and we'll probably put question:"Batman" or something, and we'll scan for those before we record. Thank you all very much for watching and hanging out. Ren, you ready to take us out?
I am ready to take us out.
All right.
Godspeed, gamers.
Peace.